a warrior and a member of a team.
I am a warrior and a member of a team.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place the mission first.
I will always place the mission first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit.
I will never quit.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier. Oh!
I am an American soldier.
There's no prouder tradition than serving in the United States Army. And basic combat training is your first step to becoming a respected member in the profession of arms. Soldier training is demanding, both physically and mentally. But in the end, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment that you'll carry for the rest of your life.
After you arrive at your designated training location, you'll spend your first several days in reception. Here you'll fill out paperwork to start getting paid, receive physical exams and immunizations, get a haircut if you're male, and you'll be issued your Army uniform and other personal items. Once you complete reception, you'll move to your training company and meet the drill sergeants who will train and mentor you until graduation.
As infantry soldiers, you have the ability and the training to fight in the heat of the desert, the Arctic tundra, the mountains and the valleys, and the jungles.
You're going to turn your main parachute in.
It is the infantry who is called to fight.
There are team-based events where we'll all run through together as a team and show that teamwork is what continues to drive the Army.
So starting off when we got off the bus, we were highly motivated individuals, and we ran 100 yards. After that, we were introduced to all the cadre and everything, and then we were brought to a whole bunch of events where we did it with our platoon. So starting off, we had a relay race with the first aid mannequin, where the first team to finish that as well won that. And then following that, we had a tug of war, and then lastly, we were introduced to the first 100 and the history about that.
I mean, the first 100 come from World War I, where infantry soldiers came out the trench and they worked together. Coming to the Army can be kind of scary, but knowing that you come into our team, meaning I'm part of you, you're part of me, you bring something to the table, I bring something to the table, and we go to the first 100 pretty much event that we go to together.
So OSUT is one station unit training. So generally for other MLSs, they will go through what is called basic combat training and follow on to a different duty station or a different unit where they will continue advanced individual training. However, here we are a special MOS where we have them from the day they begin their Army career until the end of their advanced individual training, which consists of 22 weeks.
Hi, I'm Private Jenna Lowry. I just experienced the gas chamber. We learned the command of when there's going to be gas. The gas, 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 3 times. And then we hold our breath and close our eyes for 9 seconds and seal our gas mask on. It just tests your limits. You don't think you can do it, but then once you set your mind to it, it's like a great accomplishment.
and you turn green and actually become a soldier, and you get into OSIT, you know, your drill sergeants go from drill sergeants to mentors. They start teaching you a lot more. They teach you how to become an infantry soldier. They teach you everything that you need to know before you get to the line. So when you get to the line, you're squared away, and your team leaders and your squad leaders, they see that, oh, okay, we have a great product on our hands, and that this is our best trained soldier when it comes to us going to war. We have a great product.
And when they do pass through the gates at Honor Hill, they'll be greeted by a bonfire, get them into that mindset that this is it. They finally passed all required tasks and they're becoming infantrymen.
I just want to personally say congratulations. These last 20 weeks, for the majority of you, have probably been the most physically and mentally demanding weeks that you've had in your lives. Now, the cross rifles that you've received are not just a simple piece of plastic. Those cross rifles represent much more. As infantry soldiers, you have the ability and the training to be airborne infantry, light infantry, striker, and fight on a Bradley vehicle. It is the infantry who is called to fight. And to finalize, I just want to say again, congratulations from me and the cadre. 2 more weeks left. We just need to push through and finish strong, and we'll get to graduation.
Since the dawn of modern warfare, commanders on the battlefield have relied upon their most agile warriors to keep their eyes on the target, engage the enemy, and know the enemy's every move. With the readiness to accept a challenge and stay sharp in the face of danger, the soldiers of Military Occupational Specialty Cavalry Scout are invaluable assets to our nation's Army. Recognized as force multipliers, the men and women of this MOS play a vital role in military operations.
They're the ones that go out and gather information for officials to make plans on what the military is doing at the time.
As a cavalry scout, you will serve or assist as a member of a scout team, squad, or platoon in reconnaissance, security, and other combat operations. Using cover and concealment to conduct reconnaissance, the cavalry scout gathers vital information for the planning of military missions and the deployment of forces into battle. Cavalry scouts conduct terrain, infrastructure, civilian, and threat analysis, land navigation, and route selection, and provide detailed reports on threat location, capabilities, and movement.
We're the eyes and ears of the force.
Cavalry scouts are qualified in individual and crew-served weapons, such as the 25mm and 50 caliber heavy machine guns, light machine guns, and grenade launchers, in addition to anti-armor weapons. As a crew member, cavalry scouts operate and maintain military vehicles, like the highly mobile multi-wheeled vehicle, or Humvee, the Bradley fighting vehicle, and the Striker.
They're specifically trained on several different types of optics, different tactics, techniques and procedures in order to get the reconnaissance.
Soldiers attend approximately 16 weeks of one-station unit training at the U.S. Army Armor School located at Fort Benning, Georgia, where they become disciplined, fit, and competent cavalry scouts. Whether they're taking part in squad maneuvers, target practice, or tactical training exercises, cavalry scouts are constantly refining their skills to keep themselves sharp. After successful completion of training, soldiers may be assigned to a scout platoon in the operational force as a scout, driver, or gunner.
You have to want to do it, and if you want to do it and you train hard for it, you can do anything you put your mind to.
Becoming a cavalry scout is a rewarding and challenging career choice for qualified soldiers. As a cavalry scout, soldiers may have this opportunity to pursue additional military training in a variety of different areas. Serving in this position, soldiers may also have the opportunity to apply for and earn national certifications and credentials through the Army's Credentialing Opportunities online website, further assisting in the transition from the military to the civilian employment sector.
At a young age, you learn how to take on a lot of responsibilities. Also, you become physically fit, mentally fit, and you learn how to push yourself to limits you didn't know you could reach before.
Discipline, physical and mental stamina, tactical and technical proficiency, and the ability to work as a member of a cohesive team are essential characteristics of a cavalry scout. Earn your Stetson and spurs by continuing a proud tradition as the eyes and ears of the commander on the integrated battlefield. Military Occupational Specialty, Cavalry Scout.
Do you want to leave the Army titled as a sex offender? Do you want to be banned from any establishment that involves interacting with children? Do you want a dishonorable discharge? Do you want to go to prison for the rest of your life? If not, pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. You have entered the professional of arms, therefore you are professionals. You are held to a higher standard than the one you were before you got here. You took an oath and now expected to follow the Uniform Code of Military Justice, or UCMJ, laws applicable to all service members. Rape, sexual assault, abusive sexual contact, and aggravated sexual contact are all defined in Article 120 of the UCMJ. Some of the behaviors that you thought were acceptable before you came here can now fall into one of these categories. Behavior that you assume is harmless can now be a violation of the law, even if you didn't mean anything sexual by it. Many people were in the same position that you were in and didn't heed my warning and paid the price. Don't believe me? Neither did a male recruit just last year, who thought it would be funny to tap another male recruit on the genitals, as a joke. He is now out of the Army with a bad discharge and can't get a job. A female recruit thought it would be cute to cuddle her battle buddy and place her head in their lap without their consent. She is now on trial facing a maximum of 7 years in prison. Did you play sports in high school, where a slap on the buttocks meant good game? That could now be a crime within the Army. Purple nurple, credit card swipes, and towel snaps, or any other form of horseplay is not acceptable in today's Army. No matter what you've heard from your friends or family, or seen in movies, if you are unsure if the behavior is acceptable, odds are you shouldn't be engaging in it. Otherwise, you could be like these soldiers. When your friends are graduating, you could be sitting at home, career ruined, or worse, you could be sitting in prison with a lifetime requirement to register as a sex offender. The Army is a professional organization. Do not engage in unprofessional behavior. If you do not take anything from this brief, understand this. Keep your hands to yourself.
Ranks. What do they mean? What's it all about? Let's find out in this 3-part episode. Army ranks provide a system of leadership that indicates a soldier's level of expertise, responsibility, and authority inside that profession. First, let's talk about the enlisted ranks. Enlisted soldiers are the foundation of the Army. They have specific specialties within an Army unit, perform specific job functions, and have the knowledge that ensures the success of their unit's current mission within the Army. There are 13 ranks. You'll notice that each rank has an E number. This denotes their pay grade. Private, E1, is the most junior rank. Most soldiers receive this rank during basic combat training. This rank does not carry an insignia. Private E2 is the second most junior rank and the first promotion most enlisted soldiers can earn after completing basic combat training. The private's job is to apply the new skills and knowledge learned during basic training and to continue to learn how to follow orders given by their higher-ranked supervisors. Private First Class, E3. Soldiers are generally promoted to this level within a year by request of a supervisor. Their primary role is to carry out orders and complete missions. Specialist E4. Specialists can manage other lower-ranked enlisted soldiers. A soldier can be promoted to this rank after serving a minimum of 2 years and attending a training class. Recruits with a 4-year degree may enter basic combat training as a specialist. Corporal E4. Corporals are the base level of the non-commissioned officer or NCO ranks. They serve as team leader of the smallest Army unit and are responsible for individual training, personal appearance, and cleanliness of soldiers. Sergeant E5. Sergeants typically lead a fire team of around 5 soldiers. Sergeants oversee soldiers in their daily tasks and are expected to set a standard for lower-ranked soldiers to live up to. Staff Sergeant E6. Staff sergeants lead a squad made up of 8 to 16 soldiers. Often, staff sergeants will have one or more sergeants under his or her leadership. They are responsible for developing, maintaining, and using the full range of a soldier's potential. Sergeant First Class, E7. As key assistants and advisors to platoon leaders, Sergeants First Class generally have 10 to 15 years of Army experience. Master Sergeant, E8. Master Sergeants are the principal non-commissioned officers at the battalion level and higher. First Sergeant, E8. First Sergeants are the lifeblood of a company. They're providers, disciplinarians, and counselors. In addition, they also instruct other sergeants, advise the commander, and help train all enlisted soldiers as well as assist officers at the company level. Sergeant Major, E9. Sergeants Major are the subject matter expert in their technical field, primary advisor on policy development and analytical reviewer of regulatory guidance. They serve as the senior enlisted advisor to primary staff officers at the battalion or higher. Command Sergeant Major, E9. Command Sergeants Major are senior enlisted advisors to the commanding officer. They carry out policies and standards and advise the commander on the performance, training, appearance, and conduct of enlisted soldiers.
Their opinions matter.
Sergeant Major of the Army, E9. There is only one Sergeant Major of the Army. The SMA oversees all non-commissioned officers. This position serves as the senior enlisted advisor and consultant to the Chief of Staff of the Army. Welcome to U.S. Army Ranks Part 2. Who are adaptive technical experts, combat leaders, trainers, and advisors? If you guessed warrant officers, then you're right. Warrant officers can and do command detachments, units, activities, vessels, aircraft, and armored vehicles, as well as lead, coach, train, and counsel subordinates. However, the warrant officer's primary task is to serve as a technical expert, providing valuable skills, guidance, and expertise to commanders and organizations in their particular field. There are 5 ranks for warrant officers. Let's take a look. Warrant Officer 1, WO1, is the base-level rank technical expert in their field and is appointed by warrant from the Secretary of the Army. They primarily support their teams through battalion-level operations. Chief Warrant Officer 2, CW2, is an intermediate-level role that serves as a technical and tactical expert who performs increased duties and responsibilities at the detachment through battalion levels. Chief Warrant Officer 3, CW3, is an advanced-level expert who has honed their technical and tactical expertise. They provide direction, guidance, resources, assistance, and supervision necessary for subordinates to perform their duties. They serve up to the brigade level. Chief Warrant Officer 4, CW4, is a senior-level expert in their chosen field. They serve at the brigade level and higher. They typically have special mentorship responsibilities for other warrant officers and provide essential advice to commanders on warrant officer issues. Chief Warrant Officer 5, CW5, supports higher-level operations up to the command level. They provide technical and tactical expertise as well as leadership and mentoring at a master level. Welcome to U.S. Army Ranks Part 3. We're talking about officer ranks. Commissioned officers are the managers, problem solvers, key influencers, and planners who lead enlisted soldiers in all situations. They plan missions, give orders, and assign soldiers tasks. There are 12 officer ranks. Let's take a look. Company grade officers hold the most junior roles among commissioned officers in the U.S. Army. They handle troops ranging from platoon to company level. Second Lieutenant, O1. Second Lieutenants are the most junior rank for commissioned officers. While they're often considered entry level, they lead a platoon of 16 to 44 soldiers and a platoon sergeant as the second in command. First Lieutenant, O2. They've been in the service for 18 to 24 months. On top of leading specialized weapons platoons, they head indirect fire computation centers. They are often selected to be executive officer of a company-sized unit. Captain, 03. They serve as unit commanders for a company composed of 3 to 5 platoons or 60 to 200 soldiers. They work with principal NCOs leading skills instruction at Army combat training centers. Captains are also often chosen as staff officers of a battalion. Field grade officers play a huge leadership role in the U.S. Army. They hold considerable responsibilities, such as advisors, instructors, and leaders of most military operations. Major, 04. Majors serve as the task force commander and staff officer at a brigade-level unit. They play a key role in the Army's personnel, intelligence, signal, logistical, and operational missions. Lieutenant Colonel, 05. They oversee battalion-level units of 300 to 1,000 soldiers. They work closely with Command Sergeant Majors as the principal NCO assistants for combat arms, combat support, and combat service support. Lieutenant Colonels also serve as staff officers at division and higher. Colonel, 06. They are responsible for brigade-level operations composed of 3 or more battalions or 1,500 to 3,200 soldiers. Colonels serve as staff officers at corps and higher. Colonels have a unique rank insignia reflecting an eagle. Coming up, we have general officers. They have the most military powers in the U.S. Army. They operate on a star rank structure. The higher the number of stars, the higher the rank. Brigadier General, 07. Brigadier Generals serve as deputy commanders of a Major General. Together, they oversee division-level units. Brigadier Generals are responsible for planning and coordinating personnel in a division. Major General, 08. They have a 2-star rank insignia, showing their lead command at division-level units of 10,000 to 16,000 soldiers. They perform tactical operations for sustained battles and engagements of the U.S. Army. Lieutenant General, 09. Lieutenant Generals lead one of the biggest units in the U.S. Army. They lead corps comprising 2 to 5 divisions or 20,000 to 40,000 soldiers. Lieutenant Generals are responsible for command, control, and logistical support, often assisted by a Command Sergeant Major. General, 010. Generals have the most seniority among general commissioned officers. With over 30 years in service, they command Field Army, Army Group, and Army Region composed of up to 1 million personnel. Then we have the General of the Army, which is reserved only during wartime. They serve as the commanding officer to create, implement, and order strategies for other lower-ranked soldiers. The last officers to hold this rank served during and immediately following World War II. Finally, we have General of the Armies, also referred to as a 6-star general and is the highest rank in the U.S. Army. There is no official insignia for this rank. The rank has been conferred only 3 times. John J. Pershing was the first person to be given the rank in 1919. The rank was created for him following his distinguished service in World War I. In 1976, George Washington was posthumously promoted to this rank as part of the U.S. bicentennial celebrations. And most recently, Ulysses S. Grant was posthumously promoted in 2022.
Officer Candidate School, or OCS, is the U.S. Army's primary training academy for prospective Army officers. Located at Fort Benning, Georgia, it is comprised of tactical, team, mentorship, and leadership training. OCS is generally open to U.S. citizens who are qualified enlisted, non-commissioned officers, and civilians who have at least a 4-year college degree. Recent college grads with no prior military service must first complete basic combat training before entering OCS.
The Officer Candidate School is a 12-week-long course that attempts to compress everything that you could learn in 4 years of ROTC or at the military academy and gives you only those 3 months to do it, and you have to be completely and utterly committed.
Your motivation to serve should be always to lead soldiers. Officers who understand the dynamics of combat and can react and still lead soldiers and inspire them is a difficult task.
During the summer of 1940, General George Marshall recognized the importance of establishing rigorous training facilities for new officers. His vision for this training was first put into action at Fort Benning, Georgia. General Omar Bradley, former commandant of the infantry school, is credited with establishing the foundation of OCS training, emphasizing strict discipline, a code of honor, and efficient organization, tenets which remain the base values of today's Officer Candidate School. OCS has and will continue to grow and adapt to the Army's needs. The acceptance of candidates and training requirements have fluctuated over the years to assist in any conflict in which the U.S. has been involved. Any increased operational structure is a reflection of the school's ability to transform and execute its mission to meet the needs of a fast-paced and changing Army. OCS graduates come from all walks of life and all backgrounds. This includes athletes and Hollywood personalities, as well as Medal of Honor recipients and notable figures from history and politics.
Just walking around this campus, you're reminded that people like Major Dick Winters went here, graduated from here. So you're immediately immersing yourself into that legacy. As a result, I think that holds you to a higher standard. I graduated from Yale. I was an American Studies major. Additionally, I was on the football team for 4 years. After I graduated from college, I worked in government for roughly 2 to 3 years. And that's where I heard that call to serve. And as a result, I decided to join the Army, and here I am now.
At OCS, what we're looking for out of candidates is the will to dedicate themselves fully to their craft. A candidate who has high moral values, who can be trusted to lead and mentor soldiers once they commission.
When students arrive at OCS, they are first organized into squads, helping them to learn a variety of leadership skills and small unit tactics.
OCS is comprised of 3 phases. The first phase, the basic phase, it's really a foundational environment. It's a total immersion. Candidates are exposed to land navigation skills, to mission analysis, and doctrinal techniques such as military tactics and operations orders.
Everything we do is operated by student leadership, supervised by our cadre. We build up the confidence of being a leader, get comfortable with leading PT, leading the formations.
The intermediate phase 2 continues the leadership training and gives students the chance to apply what they've learned in a field environment during an intense 18-day training mission.
Intermediate phase is where you take all the practical knowledge that you've learned, including the operational process, and you apply it to Squad Sticks, which is 2 weeks at Camp McBride, where we embark on various squad missions, completing objectives, and working as a team.
Students emerge from the field training exercise with more confidence. They have learned to ask questions, receive information, make tough decisions, and know how the Army functions.
I've just begun, but you can already see the transformation in the way you behave, the way you carry yourself, the level of confidence, even down to the level of detail that you perform each task.
In this phase, students are considered intermediate officer candidates and are assigned a branch.
The branching ceremony is a pretty nerve-wracking day. You make your way to the back of the stage, and one of your cadres there, and they hand you a single gold pin, the branch insignia. You go out on stage, you raise your right hand, and you know that you've reached the culminating moment of OCS. You know how you're going to spend your next 3 years, and you know the soldiers that you're going to be leading.
The final phase is the senior phase, where students are mentored by leaders who will answer questions and discuss the realities of the positions they will fill.
Senior phase is a culmination of it all. That's where we take all the skills that we learn and we project it for the future as officers in the United States Army.
The leadership and tactical skills gained are useful in any arena. When OCS graduates leave the Army, they do so having been a part of something bigger than themselves.
I'm not serving myself. It's not about rank, it's not about status, it's not about what position I'm in, but it's about what can I do to successfully understand the commander's intent and getting the mission done.
I think what you learn here, leadership, is a universal skill. Whatever you potentially do outside of the Army, because you're working as a team. I don't know too many civilian jobs where you're not operating as a team.
Graduating from OCS is a day that they'll never forget. This is the day where they assume the mantle of leadership, of officership, and they will go forward from here, learn their craft within their branch, and then move out and lead soldiers.
It's a beautiful opportunity for you to not only celebrate what you've done, what you will do, but also what the people who've been pivotal in your life have done for you.
I am incredibly excited to graduate tomorrow. My parents are here, my grandmothers are here. After 2 years, I'm finally commissioning, going into the next phase of my career, and I could not be more ecstatic to do that.
I applied to OCS because my father had served 25 years in the military, and everything that he did, he sacrificed for my family. My dad is going to be here to celebrate me commissioning as an officer, and I'm going to salute him. He's going to be my first salute.
The Army needs good officers because the men and women who sign up to join our Army and the soldiers that we serve deserve the best to lead them. I've served in the Army for 18 years and I do not regret it one single day. And so I've made this a career because I love what I do. I love serving soldiers and I love being a part of something bigger than myself.
By using your talents and skill while navigating situations that show your character, and by leading with respect, honor, selfless service, loyalty, duty, and integrity, you will soon rise in the ranks of the nation's first and best line of defense.
Airborne is designed to deliver a large amount of soldiers to a point in the ground behind the enemy lines in order to seize airfields and other key points of terrain in order for the tactical mission to be executed. Most soldiers come to airborne school and they will have a fear of heights. I myself have a fear of heights. However, through repetition, through the equipment that we use and the familiarization of the equipment, you become accustomed to it, as well as have a trust in your equipment that allows you to safely exit the aircraft when we come here. So it's important to enforce the standards and enforce the basic discipline because this is a high-risk training environment. Airborne operations is a high risk inherently. We want to ensure that the jumpers can not only execute the training to safely deliver them to the ground, such as proper body position, proper landings, but also to ensure that they control their static line, not only for their own safety, but for the other jumpers in the air. That way we can minimize the risk of this operation to the fullest. The mock tower teaches how to exit a group of paratroopers on one exit, one after another, to safely exit the aircraft in mass. We bring in the 250-foot tower that allows the jumper to get a sensation and orientation to 200 feet above the ground, which is where they will pull a slip to slow themselves during descent. And then we reinforce techniques learned in Ground Week with parachute landing falls and making impact with the ground.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps I take from my bed to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Will today be rough or will today be great? 9, 10, 11, 12. Lately I've been going through hell. 13, 14, 15, 16. Today's the day. Are you coming? Are you I'm sick of being normal? I'm sick of being average. I'm sick of being mortal. I'm about to be a savage. I see a lot of things that I want. I will have them. I got a new mindset that I just established. I'll march through the cold with the nails on the pavement. I'll shovel that coal just to get out the basement. My story will be told, helping others make changes. I'll be so bold they will watch in amazement. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited.